Hey there and welcome. We are students from IPME International Business School. Today we proudly present to you our complete guide to open business in Indonesia. So sit back and enjoy the video.
Hello, Camilla. How is this going?
Hey Kowun, how are you?
I am in trouble now. Do you have a timeline now? I need to talk with you.
Is this about your new business?
Hey Camila, last time when we met, I talked to you about my new business. After then, I got broker's number from the website. This broker told me it's quite complicated to establish a corporation here, so I cannot process it alone, and he asked me to send the commission, but I lost touch with him after sending the money. I think I got scammed.
Oh no. Cohen, let's file a police report and see if we can catch the scammer, okay?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I wonder how hard it is to open a business in Indonesia.
Hi and welcome back to Indonesian Business View, your daily digest of business in Indonesia. Now, are you looking to open business in Indonesia? If you are, then you are lucky because now we are connected with Mr. Harry, a national expert of domestic industries in Indonesia. Let's hear him out.
Indonesia has an extraordinary potential market. The biggest one are agriculture, mining, manufacturing, and also fishery. But tourism is also very attractive, supported by Indonesia's varied and beautiful land, water, and of course its culture.
Wonderful explanation. It's true, Indonesia has huge market potential in many sectors and also for commodities. And for that, we are now connected with Mr. Vicky, a national expert of commodities in Indonesia. Mr. Vicky, if you will.
Okay, Indonesia have four big commodities that's exported to the overseas. First is shrimp, and then second is coffee. The third is crude palm oil, and then fourth is cocoa. Especially for coffee, Indonesia export Robusta, Arabica, and Luwak coffee. This is the greatest one.
Great explanation. Yes, Indonesia is a huge exporter of many commodities such as crude palm oil, cocoa, coffee, and many others. And that's it for today's session, guys. See you next time.
Good morning, Bu Meli. How are you?
Sena, I'm fine.
Yeah, you look very well, Bu ya. Bu Meli, we have review in your final document and regarding your business and its your final annual report. Let me ask Bu, when you started business in Indonesia, Bu?
I think Indonesia is a promising business destination for several reasons, Pak. The largest economy in ASEAN is rich in natural resources and has a demographically well-positioned and rapidly growing middle class that drives domestic consumption, Pak.
So basically, what you're trying to say is, in the near future, the country will have nearly 300 million inhabitants, and is projected to be the seventh largest country in the world.
Yes, that's right. Today, Indonesia is already one of the top 10 largest manufacturing nation in the world. The rapidly increasing spending power, a tech-savvy population, and massive public investment create business opportunity. Padana, how do you describe the business climate?
For the business climate in Indonesia, Bu, the government has put a heavy emphasis on improving the business climate, thereby promoting a competitive, innovative, and dynamic private business sector, Bu. And for the traditional Indonesian, has relied heavily on commodities, but the reason focus of policy has been on facilitating economic development and structural change by diversifying the economy, supporting the development of the manufacturing sector and also promoting downstream local value added, Bu.
What about any culture aspect outside there?
And then for the culture business in Indonesia, Bu, people in Indonesia is generally happy, enthusiastic, and curious. But it's nevertheless important to follow up quickly and continuously in order to making things happen, Bu. And the last, a personal relationship with local partners is very important when the make climate business in Indonesia, Bu.
Okay. And what do you think, Parosada, about the risks and challenges company might face in Indonesia?
So investing always includes a risk factor. So in general, it may be said that the higher the risk, the higher the potential profit. This law is particularly applicable in developing market economies, including in Indonesia. So investing in Indonesia can be a very profitable thing, but investing in Indonesia also implies more risk than investing in developed countries, because Indonesia, particularly or specifically, has certain dynamics and certain characteristics that thwarts investment and disrupt the investment climate. So here's what we've concluded from the annual report. Obtaining information on relevant projects and the businesses opportunities, they generally requires local staff and on-local partners.
Yeah, Bu. And if you can, another business or company can consulting with us or me and Parosada, you can contact me also, Bu. And this is the final document from me and Parosada to you. This is your request.
Hi, Mr. Fadil. I am Albert. I'm a businessman from China. I'm interested to do the investment in Indonesia, and my friend refer your name to me. Could you give me some advice to do the investment in Indonesia?
Hello Albert, nice to meet you. Well, I have running my business in Indonesia in the manufacturing industry, and I have gained profits doing business in Indonesia. If you're interested to invest your money here, I can introduce you to my partner, Mr. Naufal. He is professional foreign direct investment consultant.
Okay, can we meet him right now?
Sure, he is around here. Let us find him. Hello, Mr. Naufal. How are you today?
Hello, Mr. Fadil. I'm great. How about you, Mr. Fadil? How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. By the way, I have a new friend here. His name is Albert. He is a foreigner and has intention to doing business here in our country.
Oh, what a great news! Hi, Mr. Albert. I am Naufal, an FDI consultant. So is it true that you have intention to doing business here in Indonesia?
Yes, indeed. I really got excited because found that Indonesia are in the 10th strongest country among 25 countries in Asia Pacific after Singapore and Malaysia. This is based on the Asia Power Index 2080 ranks. Could you give me some advice, Mr. Naufal?
Sure. I'm pretty sure that doing investment in Indonesia is very promising. Why? Because of abundant natural resources, a young and technically trained workforce, and a large growing domestic market combined with an improving investment climate and a higher global profile are just a view of Indonesia's salient strength.
Yes, Mr. Albert. Indonesia now is ranked 10 among 40 countries in the Asia Pacific region, and its overall score is above the regional and world average. With 267 million people, Indonesia is a good place for investment.
I hear that several sectors are very interesting to do the investment in Indonesia, such as infrastructure, and then agriculture, maritime, and tourism. So how does the regulation right now in Indonesia?
Yes, our current government has given many improvements for doing the business here. And the new regulation like Omnibus Law has given Indonesia more competitive with other countries. and investor like you will also be protected by the government when you invest your money in Indonesia. In terms of rule of law, property rights here are generally respected, but registration of property is sometimes difficult. The judiciary is independent, but the court system remains flat.
An online platform for business licensing in Jakarta helps business freedom, and electricity has become more reliable, especially in Surabaya. A plan to reform rigid labor laws was overtaken by the pandemic. The government has launched a plan to privatize some of its 118 state-owned enterprises, many of which are unprofitable, inefficient, and increasingly expensive to subsidize. Indonesia government through the BKPM has introduced a comprehensive procedure on how to invest in Indonesia. You can easily access the information through the BKPM website and a site that I will be glad to guide you also.
Sounds good. Let's go to BKPM. Thank you.
Sure, Mr. Albert. You may go with Mr. Fadil and I will see you there, okay? Thank you.
Argia, do you have any experience in processing visa for foreigner?
Yes, actually I know that for foreigner to apply visa working, they need to fill expatriate placement plan in the Ministry of Manpower. After that, they need to apply for temporary expatriate work permit in the immigration. They also need to deposit some money, and they have 1 up to 12 months for the visa. How about you, Badia? Do you know the transportation for foreigners in Indonesia?
Okay, transportation in Indonesia, especially in Jakarta, basically like bus is well structured. However, many foreigners say it could be dangerous for sometimes for the newcomers. Nevertheless, Jakarta most loved means of transportation are ride-hailing companies and taxi. Gojek, Grab, and Bluebirds are very convenient to use, and the price is very reasonable. And about living and working accommodation, Pak Fikri, can you tell us about it?
Yeah, actually Jakarta is one of the most crowded cities in the world. Many foreigners live in Indonesia. And there are so many convenience malls and international schools for children's education. There are also several recommended areas with many facilities available, nice environment and convenient location for the foreigner to stay. For example, in South Jakarta, they can choose Kemang, Pondok Indah, and Cilandak. It needs only 45 to 19 minutes to commute to business district. Some of international schools are Australian International School and also Jakarta International School. And for Central Jakarta, they can choose Menteng. It takes only 15 minutes to 30 minutes to go to the business district. However, if you plan to go somewhere, please spare more time to anticipate the traffic jam.
I finally found a trusted agent, but now I need someone to take me to the next step.
Hi, I'm Camila Lestrelia, and I have your contact as BKPM Customer Care Representative.
All right, you have come to the right person, Ms. Camilla, but let me introduce myself first. My name is Muhammad Tara Al-Fatah, and how may I assist you, Ms. Camilla?
I'm actually interested in opening a business here in Indonesia.
Oh, well, nice. But if you're about to open up a business in Indonesia, let me just ask you a question, Ms. Camilla. Do you have a trusted agent to register your company here? Because BKPM requires you to have a locally owned company to process the application.
Actually, yes, I do have an agent already.
Oh, yeah, nice. That should be nice. And I would just to inform you that a foreign company requires to provide investment value at least 10 billion Indonesian rupiah, yeah?
Yes, I'm prepared.
Just to inform you. But if you want to know more detail about the BKPM, I'll give you my 2 seniors contact, yeah?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Mr. Gio and Ms. Tanya. All right, so I'll send you the email about the contact. Is that fine for you?
That's perfect.
All right, I'll send you an email, Ms. Camilla. Is there anything else I can assist you, Ms. Camilla?
Nope, you've explained everything perfectly. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you, Ms. Camilla, and have a good day. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Hi Camila, thank you for contacting us. We really appreciate your intention to open business in Indonesia. Before you open business in Indonesia, you need to choose the right entity. The most common entity used by foreigner is a Foreign Limited Liability Company or PMA, which allows the employment of foreign workers.
The next is there are some requirements to establish PMA. From the structure, it should consist at least one director and one commissioner, and one of them must be Indonesian, and plus two shareholders. They can be foreign or local entities. About the capital, PMA requires at least 10 million rupiah or 750,000 US dollar for the capital investment. Last is about the location. Except for Jakarta, a domicile letter is still required when register a company.
About the procedure to register your business in Indonesia are integrated in online single submission system to provide easy and simple way. The integrated OSS is supported by several systems of Indonesian government authorities and agencies such as the General Law Administration System, National Agency of Drug and Food Control or BPOM, and other regional authorities and agencies. There are 11 steps to start a business in Indonesia. The first and the second one is related to the company's name approval by Ministry of Law and Human Rights. You will be helped by a notary in this step. After you get the approval of your company name, the next step is to pay the non-tax state revenue or PNBP fees for legal services. Then arrange for a notary to obtain the standard form of the company deeds and notarize the deed of establishment. The details can be found in Regulation Number 8 of 2018 of Ministry of Law and Human Rights. Another important thing is making a company seal or stamp, or else the institutions won't proceed with the unsealed documents. The next step is quite detailed. Mr. Gio will help to explain it.
Okay, Camila, after making company stamp or seal, the next step you can apply to the Minister of Law and Human Rights for approval of the deed of establishment. As of March 2014, you can apply and get approval through digital channels. Apply the certificate of company domicile, you can ask to the head of village or lurah in Indonesia where your company is located, or by building management if you list the office. Before 2018, you can read Surat Izin Usaha Perdagangan or SIUP and Tanda Daftar Perusahaan, and currently you only apply the single number business number or NIB on the online single submission OSS portal website. So it's more easy currently. Register with the Minister Manpower and submit a labor report via wajiblapor.kemenpar.go.id or appointment office with a period or more than 30 days as the establishment of the company. And next, apply for the Worker Social Security Program BPJS Ketenagakerjaan through bpjs.go.id, and your employee must register the healthcare insurance program, or we can call BPJS Kesehatan, as health protection in Indonesia. At the last, you must obtain the taxpayer registration number or NPWP and VAT collection number. You need maybe around 10 until 15 days to establish your first company.
6 months later.
Life is good. My business in Indonesia is booming. Let's call Kobun.
Hey girl, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing much better. I finally caught the man who scammed me.
That's amazing. I'm so happy for you. And you know, I just have to thank you.
Oh, for what?
I am so happy you and I spoke a few months ago about opening a new business in Indonesia, because I was able to make sure I didn't get scammed. like you did and went through the proper procedure to put up a business here.
Oh, congratulations.